Can the Flames jump the Sharks with a win in San Jose? Second place in the Pacific is up for grabs in the fifth and final meeting of the season. Just 5 days ago, Calgary sank the Sharks for a third time this year.
Holborn got it to Raymond, scores! What a rocket by Mason Raymond, 3-0 Calgary.
Tonight on enemy ground, Mark Giordano and the Flames with a chance to boost their playoff hopes and make another statement that they're for real. From San Jose, TELUS Flames Hockey starts now.
Welcome in, TELUS Flames Hockey. This is a big one at the SAP Center. The Flames, with a regulation win, jump past both Vancouver and San Jose, second into the Pacific Division. Welcome in. I'm David Amber into our Sportsnet studios, and there's the man, Roger Millian, standing by. Flames have been road warriors, Roger. 22 road wins for the Flames. Only Anaheim have more against the West so far this year.
That's right, David, and wouldn't they like another one here tonight? What a week. Tonight, San Jose, Thursday, Los Angeles, and then the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday. The standings tell the story. Oh, my goodness, for the Flames, this is a critical week of play, and they get some help in the lineup tonight. After 9 games on the shelf, Curtis Glencross is back in. Hasn't played because of a slight knee problem, but now he's back in the lineup. Unfortunately, Brandon Bullock is out with the flu, and this just in, Paul Byron with the flu, couldn't shake it today. David Wolf will play his second game for the Flames. And for the Sharks, boy, it's been up and it's been down, peaks and valleys, and defensive woes. On the IR is Marc-Edouard Vlasic. They'll really miss him. Almost 30 minutes a night. Also, Justin Braun remains on the injured reserve list. They're thin on the blue line. Todd McLellan knows it. But tonight it's important for his club and the Calgary Flames. David?
Thank you so much, Roger. Into our studios, and we have Louis DeBrusk and John Shannon getting us set for puck drop in a matter of moments. Jonas Hiller, guys, he's looking for the bounce back. He had that rough night Friday night against Pittsburgh. 4 goals allowed, got yanked. You expect big things in his 7th straight start?
Well, I mean, this is his team, let's face it. And if this team is going to make it to the playoffs, they're going to make it on the back of Jonas Hiller. It's going to be his job tonight to make sure he stops that vaunted San Jose attack. And we know he can do it. We know he's a quality goaltender. And sometimes you just have bad nights. That's what you had against the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's for 45 minutes. But you know what? The fact that Bob Hartley has the confidence to go back to him one more time. And when you think really since Joni Ortio won that streak of games, this has been Hiller's position. Tonight's another night for Jonas Hiller to prove that he's truly the #1 goaltender. And when this team gets to the playoffs, he will be the man in charge.
And so far, they have stifled that great offense. 7 goals allowed against the Sharks in those 4 games so far versus them. But the big guy is still Big Joe Thornton. You say he's still the offensive catalyst for this team.
He
Why?
is. There's no question. He is, just because he's that good. And, you know, when you look at the lineup, Joe Thornton is the top centerman on the team. He's the one that sets things up, playing with Joe Pavelski, their top goal scorer. And lately, I've been seeing a little bit of urgency in Joe Thornton's game. He's getting his feet moving a little bit. He's shooting the puck a little bit more. He's playing that desperation game, knowing that right now their season could be on the line down the stretch here. A lot of teams are pushing them right now. Joe Thornton is showing signs that we haven't seen for a while of being that leader they've been waiting for him to be. Pavelski, Couture lead this team in points. Now it's not Joe Thornton. Maybe that's motivating him a little bit.
One more guy.
Yeah.
Brett Burns.
Brett
Just
Burns.
watch for Brett Burns. He's going to be all over the ice. He'll play defense, but you'll think he's a rover by the end of the night.
Yeah,
The Flames, they weren't supposed to be here. The Sharks were. Are they starting to feel the pressure? LA wins, Minnesota wins?
No question. They're feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, let's remember, though, this is a young team. 11 guys, under 24 and under still. They're still learning how to be Sharks with the help of guys like Thornton and Marleau.
Todd McLellan going for a 300th career win. It's an important one. This is one of those 4-point games that decides who makes the playoffs and who doesn't make the playoffs. Flames taking the ice at the SAP Center. They're on a great run, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Rick Ball, Kelly Rudy, Roger Millians with your call coming up.
TELUS Flames Hockey. Brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
SAP Center in San Jose, California. And first of all, a reminder to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Flames player scores 5 times in tonight's game, Douglas McCara of Red Deer could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on SportsCenter. Very important game. First period action's all set. Here is Rick Ball and Kelly Rudy.
All right, thank you, Roger. Fifth final meeting of the regular season between these two teams as we check the starting goaltenders, as always. Brought to you by Intact Insurance Company. They are proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. Jonas Hiller making his 7th straight start for the Flames, 9-10-2 all-time against San Jose. At the other end, it's Antti Niemi. 12 start last 14 games for him. He's 13-3-2 against Calgary in his career, but the Flames have had the Sharks number 3-1 this season. They've already won the season series, and Calgary, remarkable 16-4-1 against the Pacific Division. As we're underway at the SAP Center, Dennis Wideman controlling the puck, able to work it out of his own end. Plays it deep into the San Jose zone. Going back to it for the Sharks, Mirko Mueller. Plays it to the right side, and it's fired out by Brendan Dillon. Too hard, but no icing, so Hiller plays the puck and fires it around behind the net on the near side. Matt Stajan knocked away from him by Hurdle. Russell gets control for Calgary and takes his time and then feeds it over to his partner Wideman, who has to kick it up to his stick. Shovels the puck to center. Tommy Wingels knocked it down. He's back after missing 7 games with a hand injury. In comes Carlson with a shot that's deflected wide by Russell. Puck played around to the near side of Brent Burns. Big defenseman up on the play behind the net for Joe Thornton. Top line coming out for San Jose. Pavelski battling along the boards. Glenn Cross up for his first shift in his first game back off injury. Backhand by Carlson, whistles just wide. Wideman took a bump on the end boards. Russell makes a nice play, and the Flames have room to clear it out and do as Mason Raymond at the end of a shift flips it down the ice and then heads off. Pavelski back in. Joe Thornton stops along the half boards. Back to the line, but Brent Burns was way back and he couldn't catch up and keep it onside.
Good start by San Jose. That's what they're looking for.
Sharks dump it in. Marleau on the forecheck. Giordano back. Marleau steals the puck in the corner. Dropped it off, but gave it away to TJ Brody. And Brody finds Michael Backlund. Lance Boma there to chip it in. Backlund on the forecheck. Matt Irwin took a hit from Backlund, but got the puck around the boards, and with some help, it's tipped out to center ice. And offside called on San Jose at the Calgary blue line as we check our keys to the game, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Kelly.
For the Flames, get on them early. We didn't know what kind of start the Sharks would have. Well, they've proven in less than 2 minutes they're ready to go. And for the Sharks, time to get serious, boys. It hasn't been a really good stretch lately. John Shannon did talk about how they've had some great games against great competition and not so good against inferior teams. Not that Calgary is a bad team, but sometimes they don't take everybody with the same seriousness.
No better illustration of that lack of consistency than 2 losses to both Edmonton and Buffalo this season. Yuri Hudler plays the puck deep. Monahan onto it in the corner. Back to Hudler along the boards. He has 4 goals in 4 games against the Sharks this season. A shot by Hudler is gloved by Antti Niemi, and he hangs on for a whistle.
Yeah, Yuri Hudler's been just a remarkable player for the Calgary Flames this season. And you know the thing about him is that when you go back to him, and certain teams, like all players, they just shine against certain teams. And remember some great games, Yuri Hudler here in this building, that one in November, and then here's the game winner versus the Sharks last week. But you know, he's turned into a real leader. It's been amazing to watch his growth.
Yeah, Bob Hartley has made a point several times this season to talk about how he is doing a great job mentoring some of the young players he's playing with. Patrick Marleau able to chop the puck outside of his own zone, and it's picked up there with speed down the wing. Shot steered away by Hiller, and then fired in behind the net. Mark Giordano with the puck. Up the boards and out. And the Flames will make wholesale changes as going back to it for San Jose is Patrick Marleau. Burns got it to the neutral zone. It's backhanded in by Andrew Desjardins. He didn't play last week in Calgary. It was a healthy scratch. He's put up a few points the last couple of games for the Sharks. Now David Wolf trying to work it in. Second game in the NHL for Wolf. He had a pretty good first game 2 Saturdays ago against the Oilers, but suffered that skate cut. Back in the lineup tonight with Paul Byron out with illness.
Last game for Jonas Hiller, he gave up 4 goals and was pulled. And here's his first save of the game, and a nice one. Nice, calm save. That's how he got on that roll. Good body position by Hiller. We've got the players chirping at each other now, just inside the blue line.
It seems as though the energies are high on both teams right now, right, Rick?
Well, a chance again for Calgary with a regulation win to move past San Jose, and assuming Vancouver loses it against Minnesota, where they were down 5-2 in the third last check, they'll move back into second place.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the guys are amped up today.
And Vancouver did lose 5-3 to Minnesota, so another opportunity for the Flames to move to second place in the Pacific Division. That's how close the race is.
And I suspect that we'll be talking like this the entire season.
Desjardins able to get the puck out to center ice. Chopped to the near boards. There's Wolf throwing a hit along the wall as he runs into Kennedy. Shepard cleans up, plays it back to hand and over to Brent Burns, and he'll bring it out of his own zone. Burns through center. Desjardins. And offside they go. Kennedy stepped in early on the right wing.
Well, just how well have the Flames done the last 6 meetings versus the San Jose Sharks? I'd say awfully well. 5 wins, only 1 loss in that stretch. This is a team that Calgary Flames feel pretty comfortable playing against right now.
Look at the record in the division, Kelly. It's remarkable.
It is.
It's not an easy division. They're 16-4-1. And 8-2 against the Pacific on the road. The only 2 losses has been in that black hole that's the Honda Center in Anaheim where they have trouble.
And the other thing is, it's not like they're fooling anybody. People know that the Calgary Flames are for real and what kind of game you're going to get from them. So it's not as though you sneak up on somebody and they've overlooked you. And the record against the divisions, one obviously stands out as the Pacific, but on the other end of the spectrum, the Metropolitan record is one that kind of puzzling. Only 300 winning percentage.
That Eastern road trip coming up at the end of the month, so they'll have to rectify that. Those will be some big games as the Brier moves into the Saddle Dome. Face off in the Calgary end here after Hiller gloved that last shot. Puck comes to the boards, fed back to the line. There's a play by Irwin to get it behind the net. Russell runs into Wingles and knocks him over. Wingles retrieves his stick. And a broken hand was expected, I think, to be out longer than he was. Missed 7 games, Wingles did. Back in the lineup tonight. Chop at the puck along the boards. Wingles shot gloved by Hiller. And he hangs on for a whistle.
This period brought to you by Toyota. Comfort, style, technology, and one incredible drive. The 2015 Toyota RAV4. Let's play.
Cool talking to Bob Hartley this morning, and we're going to hear a lot more on this topic from Roger Millions, especially in the second period, but it's a dad's trip.
Yep.
And 16 fathers, I believe, are on the trip right now. You could just see the joy in Bob's eyes talking about how special this trip is for the players and the fathers.
Penalty coming up to Calgary as Giordano took down Thornton. There wasn't going to be a call initially, at least neither official put his hand in the air, but it did go up finally, and off goes the Flames captain, so San Jose gets its first power play of the game.
Joe Thornton is so great at using that big body, trying to protect the puck, and this one just a quick turn to his right, and Mark Giordano gets a stick caught in the skates of big Joe Thornton, but Joe is so good at protecting the puck, turning his back on the players and using that long reach. That was why Mark Giordano got caught with the stick in his skates.
Sharks power play is 8th in the league, 20.9%, but Kelly just 1 for 10 in the 4 games against Calgary, and Todd McClellan, the coach of the Sharks, saying this morning that's an area they have to improve, and it's a big part of the reason why they have lost 3 of the 4 meetings.
Absolutely. They had a chance to get back into that game in San Jose or in Calgary last week, I recall, but they had very little energy on their power play.
So they go to work here with Giordano in the box. And the puck's played back to the point where Patrick Marleau waits with a wrist shot that goes wide. Brent Burns back to Marleau, just kept it onside. Marleau tries another shot, and that goes wide on the other side. Pavelski fires it behind the net for Couture, but it took a bounce off the boards, and the puck goes out of play, and it may have been touched by a Calgary stick. See if the play stays inside the zone.
Patrick Marleau, always quick on the puck. It's a couple of good chances right here. Uses his speed to get back in position, and it just went wide.
Brody, Weidman around the boards and out. Burns going back, Matt Stajan hot on his heels. Ball in there as well in the PK, trying to tie up the puck along the boards. Brent Burns gets it back and then feeds it ahead to Couture, but he missed the puck. That allows Brody to take it away. And Flames will flip it back towards the line. Pavelski knocked it down, quick up to Thornton. Here they come. Joe Thornton into the zone. Turning on the boards, back to the line for Burns. Brent Burns, Pavelski missed the pass, and again Brody steals and clears. Back to they come. Pavelski's pass missed everybody and comes outside the zone. So a little sloppy on the San Jose power play midway through the Giordano penalty. And Backlund's able to redirect the puck deep and then head off on a change on the kill. Scoreless game just past the 5-minute mark of the first. Second unit out now for the Sharks. Tennyson fires the puck around the boards. Hurdle trying to get there. Wingles behind the net to Carlson. Up the other side to Matt Irwin. Has to wait for it. Chops it back towards the corner. Melker Carlson now. Tommy Wingles. Tennyson. Irwin. On the other side, there's the one-timer, and it hit traffic and bounced across. It's corralled by Boma. And he'll skate the puck to safety and fire it in on goal and then turn to the bench.
Excellent pressure by the Flames on the PK, attacking when they had the opportunity. Even at one point, two guys went to Joe Thornton and took away his options.
Matt Staging cuts off a pass in the neutral zone. And the Flames take it away, and here they come. Monahan over the line late in the penalty kill. Back to the point with a long wrist shot. That went just wide. Niemi, I don't think saw it, but it missed the net. Penalty over. No shots on the power play for the Sharks.
Niemi did not see that.
Here's Nieto cutting out front. Tried to jam it on goal. It bounces off Tierney. Wide of the net. The Flames wind up with control as Glenn Cross will fire a pass ahead for Juris that didn't connect, and it's an icing call on Calgary.
This is the Sports Select Legends statistician. He knows the numbers, and the numbers start with a $.
Get your game on with Sports Select.
Sean Monahan has the puck at the point. This is that play we said Niemi didn't see. You can see all the traffic, though. There are about 4 bodies in the line of the puck, and very difficult for Niemi to spot that one.
Tyler Kennedy gets the puck back to the line. A shot from the point by Mirko Mueller didn't get through. It was deflected into the corner, and the Flames pick it up there. Monahan lifts it high over the line and out. TJ Brodie with a long pass to center. Tip back to Raymond. Now Glenn Cross for Raymond. Raymond works it behind the net on the backhand. Mason Raymond trying to cut out front. Top of the circle now. Nice play back to Derek Englund with a wrist shot. Caught by Niemi, and he'll hang on for a whistle with 13:03 to go in the first period of play. Flames and Sharks scoreless in San Jose on Sportsnet.
This is exciting.
Quite the audience in the crowd at SAP Center. On your right, Graham Dillette, PGA golfer from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, a die-hard Flames fan. His father, Norm, to his left. And in front, the 16 dads belonging to the Calgary Flames players enjoying the action tonight at SAP Center. What a special evening it is for all of them and all of us.
Great tradition.
It is
The
a great
father's
tradition.
trip.
I wish I would have had the luxury of that trip when I was a player. How cool would that have been? And I also love how teams bring their mums as well.
Wrister by Brodie off the draw, stopped by Niemi. You know, you think about it, Kelly, and both parents, mums, dads, you know, obviously they play a big role in their kids' lives, but in hockey, wow.
And they grew up taking their kids, so their kids, like this play right here, can be on a replay in a National Hockey League game.
Those early mornings, those cold rinks, the hot chocolate.
Dreaming of one day being here.
Scoreless game, just past the 7-minute mark of the opening period. Brent Burns behind the net. Plays it ahead. Nieto got it to the line, not out. Monahan kept it on side, but only for a moment. Sean Monahan. Yuri Hoodlin. Nieto back. Monahan hits him. Puck goes to the corner. Flames get control. Throwing out front. Bouncer to Russell. He couldn't settle it down, but it's kept in by Johnny Gaudreau. His pass hit Monahan in the skate. Came outside the zone. Flames start a change. That gives Scott Hannon time to work the puck in his own zone, then over to Brent Burns, ahead to Pavelski at center ice. He's had trouble a few times in this game controlling passes and gave it away there. Glenn Cross hard around. Raymond onto the puck on the far side, blows a tire in the corner, and Scott Hannon takes it away. Hannon playing in his 1,039th game in the NHL. Joe Pavelski hard hit in the corner by Glenn Cross. Brodie gets the puck to Raymond. He'll bank it in. End of his shift. Flames make wholesale changes. Shots 4-3 Calgary. Matt Tennyson, Matt Irwin. He'll bring it through center. Passes left side. There's a shot by Tierney. It's kicked away by Hill. A bit of a rebound when the Flames get the puck, and out they come. Lance Boma leads the way. Backlund with him on the rush. Boma threw it out front. Nobody there for a redirect. Puck comes to Weidman. Dennis Wideman over to Chris Russell. Back to Wideman. Has to pick it up off the boards with a shot. Knocked away by Niemi. And the Sharks take control and work at the center ice. Tierney lone man in the forecheck. Tied up by Russell on the boards. Tierney gets the puck back to the line. There's a shot, and that's gloved by Hiller. And he'll hang on for a whistle.
Great start for Curtis Glencross, back in the lineup after missing a number of games with his knee injury, but he's been really physical. Here's one with Wingles right here, and then in the corner here with Pavelski. And we actually missed one earlier in his first shift where Glencross went after Brendan Dillon with maybe the best hit of the period so far. So real physical start for Glencross, setting the tone and getting his feet wet again.
Yeah, in the case of Dillon, a guy who outweighs Glencross by 30 pounds.
Yeah, 6 hits already for the Calgary Flames.
Josh Juris tips the puck out of his own zone. There's Dillon there with control, drops it off. Mirko Mueller, the 19-year-old, 18th overall pick in 2013, back on the blue line, but David Wolf for the Flames works the puck in. Wolf forced to the corner. Around the boards for Derek Engelland. Colborne down low. Battling with Dillon. Colborne, good job protecting the puck along the boards. Hard pass, Diaz, one-timer, put it wide. Wolf onto it in the corner. Bumped by Dillon. Wolf spins off the hit, feeds it down low to Colborne. Colborne being watched by Shepard. Colborne still with the puck. Diaz now. Diaz with a wrist shot into traffic. Hit Wolf, he spun around, shot never got through. Pass to Colborne, didn't quite connect. And Shepard there to relieve the pressure and clear the zone. Good shift for that line.
Fantastic shift. That's the kind of energy shift you need. Keep the other team hemmed in their own zone. That's tiring.
Get Wolf and Colborne out there together. That's a lot of size to handle down low. Here comes Johnny Gaudreau at the other end of the size spectrum, but a great move. Right in. Stopped by Niemi. Loose puck. Penalty coming up to San Jose. Hiller goes to the bench for the extra skater. Yuri Hudler with the puck. Hudler makes a move. Hard pass out front. Shot never got through. Flames get it back with a shot. That goes wide. Monahan in the corner. Along the boards now. 6 skaters. Delayed penalty. Hard pass to Hudler. Picks it up off the wall. Chris Russell. Dennis Wideman. Sean Monahan. Chris Russell. Slap pass to Hudler. Turns in the circle. Good control for Calgary. Russell. Hudler. Russell looking for a shooting lane. Out front, Monahan tipped it wide.
And the Sharks are tired, Rick.
Monahan back to Russell. Great pressure for the Flames. Dennis Wideman. Hard pass down low. Comes back to Russell. Winds up. Fakes. Passes instead. Far boards to Monahan. Matt Stajan now. Up the wall, back to the blue line to Hudler. Great control by the Flames. Wideman, Russell in the circle. Pass out front. Shot deflected wide of the goal. Gaudreau gets control. Almost gave it away. Look out. Empty net at the other end. This has happened once this year, but it curls away towards the corner. Oh, flashbacks to that game in Vancouver.
Absolutely. And the Sharks are able to change, though.
And there's a giveaway at center ice. Joe Thornton touches the puck, and after some great pressure, 1 minute, 12 seconds on the delayed call. But we're still scoreless. This penalty will send Calgary on the power play next.
Rogers and Shaw customers who have Sportsnet 1 can access Sportsnet Magazine Digital Edition at no extra cost. Visit sportsnet.ca/magazine to get access now.
Brent Burns was not happy with this call, but we're going to see exactly what happened and why it was called. He gets a stick into the hands right there quickly on Gaudreau. Stick slides down, but the initial call is what Eric Furlack called. And why I know he wasn't happy, because I watched Brent Burns talking to Eric for about 5 or 10 seconds, even as the play continued on.
First power play for the Flames tonight. Power play that scored in 4 of the last 6 games and looks to open the scoring in this one with 8:34 left in the first period. Backlund on the draws. Marlowe comes in to replace Pavelski for San Jose. Backlund, Jones, Raymond up front. Diaz, Giordano on the points. Sharks win the faceoff. Mirko Mueller fires the puck down the ice. Rafa Diaz goes to it. Skates out of his own zone ahead to Backlund. In for Raymond. Back to Diaz. Across to Giordano. Diaz, one-timer, and that's blocked out front. Tennyson got in the way. And then Pavelski winds up with the puck and clears.
The high penalty killers of the Sharks are doing a pretty good job taking away that one-timer. Diaz did have it, but it's from well out.
Diaz fires the puck in, around the boards. Raymond trying to get there. Hannon beats him to it, but give it away to Diaz. Dillon takes it back, clears the puck down the ice, right on goal. So Hiller decides to play the puck.
Smart play. Put it behind the net.
Thought about passing.
Yeah, he did.
And then made the smart one.
Keep it below the goal line.
Here's Yuri Hudler. Back to the line. Giordano with a shot whistled that wide. Bounces all the way back to Weidman at the other point. Bouncer in the corner. Dillon swats it away from Gaudreau. Weidman able to keep it onside. Across to TJ Brodie. Back to Weidman. Brodie in the circle. Weidman. Slap shot. That got through. Niemi makes the save and hangs on. 35 seconds left in the power play.
Introducing Engel & Volker's Calgary, the #1 overall pick for your Calgary real estate needs. We truly are in a league of our own.
Dennis Weidman always does such a wonderful job getting pucks through, and there's quite a bit of traffic up top, but he's still able to get that puck through to Niemi.
Nice move by Weidman at the line to find a lane. Shot off the foot of Mirko Mueller. And Joe Pavelski trying to work it out. Good work there by the Flames to steal it back. Monahan trying to get out front. Knocked off his stick. Mueller clears the zone down the ice. 15 seconds left in the power play.
Sorry, Rick, good pressure by Tennyson to come back on Monahan on that play.
Shot 6-5 Calgary, still scoreless. As Brodie fires it ahead of Josh Juris. Juris trying to cut his way around the check of Tennyson. Flames set it up late in the power play. Brodie at the line. Doesn't have a shot, gave it away. And look out, over the box was Burns, but Brodie recovered and stole that pass from Couture. One shot for Calgary on the power play. Colborne makes a nice move at the line. Gets the puck back on his knees, back to his feet. Threw it out front, chopped in behind the net by Glencross. There's Giordano with a shot, blockered away by Niemi. You saw that in the last second. Logan Couture gets the puck. Behind the net to Mueller. And the young Mueller in the lineup. A couple of key injuries on the blue line for San Jose. With both Marc-Edouard Vlasic and Justin Braun out with injuries. Here's a chance out front. Hurdle kicked away by Hiller. Tomas Hurdle made a nice move and got a good scoring chance. Joe Thornton behind the net. Jumbo Joe turning away from Brodie. Forced towards the corner, back to the line. Just kept in, but Boma will have time and should be able to get it out where he finds Backlund at center. Ahead for David Jones, drops it off for Michael Backlund. Jones goes out front. Backlund in the corner, to the line to Brodie. Over to Russell. Chris Russell with a wrist shot wide of the goal. Matt Irwin gets the puck off the boards and able to feed it ahead to Hurdle. Hurdle works it in, waiting for support. Turns along the wall. Back to Scott Hannon. Plays it behind the net to Wingels. Kearney can't get the puck. Flames will instead, and here they go. Raymond through center. Staging with him. Weidman up on the rush too. Raymond with a shot. Scores! Mason Raymond opens the scoring with 5:08 to go in the first period. Kelly, we talked in the pregame about Raymond playing better, and there you see it. Nice goal.
Great speed by Mason Raymond. Everybody knows that. A lot of players can't handle the pocket speed, though, but Mason Raymond can. Good back pressure also, but he's able to avoid that. Sneaks his way into the high slot, and Bob Hartley talked about Mason's delivery this morning when he releases the puck, and here's an example of it. It just blows by Niemi right there. So he continues on his hot streak. But what a skill that is to be able to puck handle at high speed, get away from Tierney, and unload that quick wrister.
Ninth of the season for Raymond. Boma and Russell get the assists.
I've watched a lot of guys that can skate quickly, but they can't handle the puck at the same time, and Mason Raymond doesn't have any problem with that.
You know what else is going to make Bob Hartley happy, Kelly? Seeing Mason Raymond go to the middle like that. Right to the front of the goal. And that's what he's been doing better of late. 1-0 Calgary leading. Lane cross. Bumped by Burns. Puck comes free. Burns falls. Side of the goal. Trying to get it out front. It hit Englund. Desjardins gets it back to Scott Hannon. Surrey, BC native fires it around to Burns. Back to the line to Shepard. Over to Hannon. Hannon with a shot deflected wide. And the Flames take it back. Glencross clears it out to Stajan. Matt Stajan. Over to Mason Raymond. Raymond with a shot from a sharp angle up high on Niemi. Makes the save. and hangs on for a whistle. 4:17 to go, first period of play. Mason Raymond's goal makes it 1-0 Calgary in San Jose.
Bubbly chocolate and your favorite team in red. It's the Valentine's Day you've been waiting for, both of you. Get your Valentine's package today and watch the Flames with your sweetheart this Saturday, February 14th. For more information, visit calgaryflames.com/tickets.
4:17 to go in the first period. Flames up 1-0 in San Jose. Shots 8-6 Calgary. Flames will finish off this two-game road trip in Los Angeles on Thursday and then open up another homestand Saturday against Vancouver before heading out on that long Briar road trip to the east.
Of which you and I will be a big part of.
We will be there. Good first period here in San Jose. Gaudreau on the boards. Monahan trying to flip it back to Gaudreau. That was broken up, and here goes Patrick Marleau. Checked at the line, and a good play there by TJ Brodie. We talked about how many games Scott Hannon has played in the NHL. That would be impressive, except he's on the same team as Patrick Marleau. That's funny. Who's played 1,302 games now. There's a shot by Nieto deflected off the skate of Couture wide. Marleau onto it. Fastest, or the youngest player, excuse me, in NHL history to 1,300 games.
And Ray Tufts, the San Jose Sharks trainer that I've known since I played here, told me he thinks Patrick has only missed 2 games in his career. Something like that. Something ridiculously low.
Puck tipped in by Jones as Sharks are back to it and clear the zone. Calgary, by the way, just for all you stats folks out there who like to hear this stuff, 17-5-2 when they score the first goal.
Pretty impressive.
Which they have tonight. Backlund trying to get after a puck in the zone. Gets some help. It's kept alive by Jones. Bumped by Pavelski. Jones throws a nice hit on Tennyson. Boma steps into Irwin behind the net. Irwin winds up with control, though, and he'll bank it off the boards and out. Brodie to it. Pressured by Thornton. Brodie turns away from Joe Thornton and drops it off to Giordano. And here goes the captain of center ice. Mark Giordano wrists it in off the stick. Mueller plays the puck to the corner. David Wolf battling there with Dillon. Wolf gets the puck along the boards. Down low for Juris. He's checked by Mueller, and racing onto the loose puck was Tierney, who gets clobbered by Wolf as Tierney got the puck outside the zone.
That is a massive hit by Wolf on Tierney.
We saw Wolf in his first game before he got hurt show a willingness to be that kind of a player, and right there, he had Tierney in the train tracks and caught him with a good check. We approach the final 2 minutes of the opening period. Tierney into the zone, turning along the boards. Plays the puck to Hertl in the corner. Sharks work the cycle game, but it's broken up by Matt Stajan, who makes a good defensive play. That allows Wolf to clear the zone. Stajan onto the puck at center. To Raymond, the goal scorer, with a shot that's blocked. Loose puck taken by Hertl and cleared to an open wing at center ice. Glencross mishandles the pass. Raymond gets it back. Drops it off to Weidman. Chris Russell now. Dennis Weidman. Matt Stajan turns just inside the line. Raymond fanned an attempt to dump it deeper, and that allows Tim Kennedy room to work the puck to center ice. Got no further. It's broken up by Russell at the Calgary blue line. That goes off the stick of Glencross and out of play. We'll tell you that we have our first winner tonight in Safeway Score and Win Contest. On behalf of Safeway and Tostitos Tortilla Chips, Chi Lai of Brooks has won a Krups Espresseria automatic espresso machine. Congratulations to Chi.
And here's that huge hit we talked about from Wolf to Tierney. Tierney comes up right there, just dishes the puck off it. Give him credit, though. He gets back up quickly from that hit, entered the play again.
Icing coming up against Calgary. It's Tyler Kennedy, not Tim Kennedy. I did catch myself there.
Right.
David Wolf really, Kelly, in limited exposure to the NHL. I think you got to be happy if you're Bob Harley, what you've seen so far.
Absolutely. First game, just played over 7 minutes before leaving with an injury, but he's been a real energy guy, willing to improve his game. He's, you know, we saw him in training camp, and I thought his skating needed a little bit of improving, and certainly put the work in.
There's Dillon with a shot. Glove saved by Hiller, but he can't control the puck. Bounce right to Brody as he circles the net and banks it up the boards to Gaudreau. Final minute of play in the first. Battle for the puck along the boards. Scorch free to TJ Brody. Nice play to Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau threw it out front for Monahan. Couture on the back check, knocked it away from Sean Monahan. Giordano keeps it onside. Gaudreau in the corner. Monahan threw it out front. Hoodler couldn't get a stick to it. Mueller got his stick in the way, and the Sharks settle it down. The Flames make changes. Half minute to go in the period. Good opening period for Calgary. On the road at San Jose. You're right. Carlson plays the puck to the front of the goal. Thornton knocked it down, but couldn't get a shot away. He was tied up by Weidman. Back to the line. There's Burns, wristed out front, tipped towards the goal. That was blocked, and the puck's played to center to Boma. Backlund, as time ticks down, needs a shot. Got it to the front of the goal, but it goes into the corner with the horn sounding, and the first period coming to an end.
This period brought to you by Toyota. Comfort, style, technology, and one incredible drive. The 2015 Toyota RAV4. Let's play.
1-0 Calgary leading after one. Mason Raymond with the only goal, his 9th of the season. As we hand things back to the studio with John Shannon and Louis DeBrusque, here's David Amber.
TELUS Flames hockey from San Jose. The lone goal belongs to Mason Raymond, his 9th of the season. Flames enjoying a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. A special night, dignitaries all over the place, Flames dads. And the gentleman to my right is PGA golfer Graham Dillette from Weyburn, Saskatchewan. And as you can, well, you maybe can't see, but Flame paraphernalia all over. It's common knowledge you're a Flames fan, and I know your dad Norm's here tonight. What's it like being here?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, for the Flames to be able to do this for their dads. My dad and I were doing a father-son trip to Pebble, and we just passed in here on the way, and we were invited up to share with these guys. And I mean, you know, in golf, my dad did a lot for me, as I'm sure these guys did all for their sons playing hockey, so it's a pretty cool night.
Start of the season, quickly, how have you been so far? It's early.
Yeah, it is early. I had a nice finish in Phoenix a couple weeks ago, which is where I call home now, kind of. And, you know, I'm right in the mix. I haven't, maybe not quite as good as you like it, but that's golf. It never really is until you win. So things have been going good. I'm excited about the rest of the year. And Pebble's obviously a great place, so I'm looking forward to getting there.
Yeah, beautiful. I got to ask you quickly about Twitter. The Toronto Maple Leafs and fans, you had some fun this week. How's it going with them?
I did. They gave it to me pretty good, but I deserved it. So it was a lot of fun. You know, I got a ton of followers, a lot of support, and it's always fun to mix it up with the guys a little bit.
Graham, all Canada wish you the very best this year. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
Lots of fathers up here. We'll talk to some of them in the second and third period. Back to you, Rick and Kelly. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Roger. And Twitter never gets anybody in trouble, does it, Kelly?
No, I didn't have an interesting one today. Too funny.
Second period underway. Flames lead 1-0. Mason Raymond's 9th of the season. He has 3 goals his last 4 games after a stretch of 1 in his previous 21. So Raymond certainly playing his best hockey of the season for Calgary. As they break out through the neutral zone, here's Weidman up on the play with a shot. He put it wide of the goal. Puck around the boards, hops away from Hoodler, and it's a 2-on-1 possibility the other way. Nieto, Marleau, Nieto, shot deflected wide, and then put wide in the second chance by Marleau to miss the net. Dillon keeps it onside. Patrick Marleau trying to get it out front, blocked by Russell. That'll bounce to the line, not out. And now it's out off the shin pads of Jiri Hudler. So a couple of early chances for each team to start the second period. Dennis Weidman with the puck. Back to Russell. Flames finish off a change. Weidman, backhand pass to Raymond. Down the wing with speed and a shot. Save, big rebound. And off the stick of Glencross to the corner. Glencross back to Englund. Eric Englund. Mason Raymond chips the puck to the corner. Stajan trying to get it back. Cut off by Wingles. He's able to clear the zone. Stick knocked out of his hands by Raymond. No call. Play continues. Glencross in. Pass out front. Deflects to the side of the goal. And Antti Niemi covers up the puck for a whistle.
I've talked often this year about Dennis Weidman getting pucks through from the point. Well, this is a different play. Comes in and misses the net, and then puck bounces over the stick of Hoodler. Now Nieto's going to try and buy some time and let Marleau catch up, which doesn't take long. when you have that sort of speed as Patrick Marleau. But the play broken up right in front before Patrick can get his stick on it.
Backlund against Pavelski on the faceoff. Backlund wins it to Brody. Slap shot. Glove save, Niemi. And he hangs on.
One of the good guys in the game, the Sharks coach Todd McClellan, had a chance again to visit with him. One of the questions was, what are you looking for from your team? And he mentioned consistency right off the get-go. Shortly thereafter, somebody asked another question similar, and he said, get rid of the inconsistency. So I think we know the theme from Todd McClellan and the Sharks team right now.
Face-off win again for Backlund. In fact, 1-2 cleanly, went past Brody and down the ice. Backlund works the puck to the neutral zone over the line. Working in on the wing, on the backhand to the forehand with a shot. Niemi makes the save on a nifty play by Backlund. Sharks turn it back the other way. Carlson cuts over the line. Puck comes to Pavelski, hopped off his stick, kept onside by Joe Thornton. Missed Pavelski behind the net. Giordano trying to get to the other side, and the puck, and he does. Clears the zone to center. Onto it is Backlund, right side to Jones. Slap shot, blocker save, rebound in the slot, cleared out by Thornton. Russell to it on his own end. Both teams making changes here. Joe Colborne in, tips it deep. Colborne with Wolf and Jervis. They had a few effective shifts in the first period. Trying to go to work here, but puck behind the net. Mueller knocked down, back to his feet. Colborne away for the puck to fall off the boards, and it does. To Wolf, to Juris behind the goal. Took a bump from Irwin. Colborne comes in to get the puck. Joe Colborne battling along the boards, but it's taken away by Shepard and cleared out the center ice. Mirko Mueller works it over the line. Wires it around. On the far side for Tyler Kennedy. Into the corner. Kennedy gets it back in behind the net. Works it up the near boards. Battling with Diaz. Shepard to help out. Colborne knocks it away from him and out to the neutral zone. 3 minutes into the second period. Flames up 1-0. Shots 12-7 Calgary. Desjardins onto the puck behind the net for Shepard. James Shepard turning. Bumped by Diaz. And here goes David Wolf. Late in his shift. Gains center ice. Plays it in and heads off on a change.
I love the energy again, Rick. Starting off here the same as it finished in the first period.
How much does winning as much as Calgary has against this team give you that psychological edge when you play them again? I mean, 3 and 4 so far this season have gone the way of the Flames.
And in certain buildings. And you really believe that this is a building that you're comfortable in no matter what happens. And I used to like buildings like that.
Nieto with center ice. Got it as far as the line. Gaudreau took it away, and he finds Chris Russell. Ahead to Hoodler, will tip it in. Niemi out of the goal, sweeps the puck off the boards. Played back to the line, but Lyman was moving over, and look out, here goes Marleau with Couture. Marleau with a shot, Hiller save, and the rebound knocked away from the front of the net. Puck back to the boards. Brent Burns works it across the line, drops it off for Nieto, into traffic, shot blocked. Second shot went off a stick wide of the goal as Couture pulled the trigger. Bounces back to the line, Hannon can't keep it onside. Flames work it out. Monahan's by himself, waiting for support off the bench, so we'll drop it off to Weidman. Across to Chris Russell. Long pass to Raymond. Raymond over the line. Mason Raymond. Michael Backlund now. Backlund pushed to the boards by Matt Irwin. Pavelski in there helping out. Boma comes in support of Backlund, who kicks the puck to Boma in the corner. Tight quarters for Boma. Backlund trying to work it off the wall. Backlund still doing some good work along the boards. Brody behind the net to Jones. David Jones. Lance Boma. Over to the puck is Mark Giordano. Scott Hannon takes it away. Back to Matt Irwin, and he'll have time to bring it to the line and out. Fires the puck in. Miller stops it behind the net. Onto the puck is Matt Stajan. Brody can't take the pass, deflected off his skate. Mueller fires it across to Brendan Dillon. Tierney over the line, his pass deflected off front, Wingles in deep. Trying to throw it back to the front of the goal. Now the net's off, it supports. As Hurdle goes into the back of the Calgary goal, and we get a whistle.
Both teams exchanging scoring chances. Nifty little play by Michael Backlund and Irwin right here. I love going in between the stick and the body like that. That's one of my favorites. And then Patrick Marleau just blows away from Sean Monahan right here. And there's no shame in that. Patrick, of course, has been one of the best skaters in the game for a lot of time. And then Couture gets a chance right in the slot. And, of course, it's Chris Russell with the block. Doesn't allow that shot to get through to Hiller.
5 minutes and 40 seconds into the period. That's just the second whistle, so another game with a lot of extended play.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I love the pace of this. We said that right after the All-Star game we could feel a real difference in energy and intensity, and it's again in this game.
Flames ice the puck as the whistle blows with 14:13 to go.
Tell us in the Calgary Flames present We Heart Flames contest. Show your love and post a picture of your Flame spirit to Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag We Heart Flames during the telecast for a chance to win big.
Chris Russell back on the ice. He has 3 block shots already.
Just amazing. Came into the game number 1, and he'll go on to the game number 1. Nobody close. Up to 167 block shots on the season for the Caroline, Alberta native. Colborne facing off against Hurdle. Colborne wins the draw, and the Flames control the puck. Tomas Hurdle gets it at center ice and plays it in. Russell bank pass to Weidman. Hard pass up the boards. Out of the corner, but it's taken away by Hurdle. Hurdle back to Wingles. Brent Burns into traffic, deflected, and a nice pad save by Hiller. Good positioning there by the Flames goaltender. Wingles behind the net. Stolen by Josh Juris. Flames can't get it out. That shot whistled just wide. Scott Hannon onto it. Spent a season with the Calgary Flames in 2011 and 12. Now Hurdle behind the net. Swept away from him by Weidman. Good pressure on this shift for San Jose. Hurdle out front with a pass, and it winds up under Russell. And then Hiller dives on top of Russell for good measure. We get a crowd forming behind the net. But cooler heads prevail. Busy in the Calgary crease. Flames up 1-0 at San Jose.
Back at SAP Center, we're here with the Flames dads, John Monahan, Mark Juris. John, what about the atmosphere in here? Watching your son play is cool, I know, but the atmosphere in this kind of game, all the importance, what's it like?
Awesome. It's great to be here.
To watch the guys go, and it's a playoff type atmosphere. How do you think they're reacting so far?
Wonderful. Yeah, they're playing a great game. Great start to the game.
That is so far. Mark, interesting. I talked to you earlier in the year when Josh just made the club. He's had a tremendous rookie season. How's he feeling, and how are you feeling about what he's done so far?
Well, very proud, and the team's done really well, and we're fighting for second place right now with a win today against San Jose. It'd be great.
This game, the atmosphere, I just talked to John about it. How do you feel it is? You played a lot of hockey yourself. I mean, it's kind of like the playoffs before the playoffs.
Exactly. It's a great atmosphere, lots of excitement here, and yeah, you can really feel the playoff tempo.
Gentlemen, thanks for letting me bug you. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, Roger, as Couture gets a shot from just outside the line, steered away by Hiller. Matt Nieto onto it, dropped it off for Burns. His shot hit his skate and whistled wide. Giordano off the glass, batted back towards the corners. Giordano will feed it over to Brody on this side. Takes a bump, turns away from Marleau. Brody falls, though, makes a play to Giordano. Pavelski trying to cut it off. Battle ensues along the wall. Monahan takes it back to Giordano, over to Brody. He should have room to get it out. Tipped in by Hoodler, gets around Matt Irwin. Irwin, bit of a hook on Hoodler, play continues. As Irwin winds up with a puck. Lance Bowman gets it for Calgary. Bumped there by Tennyson along the boards. Backlund with control now. Michael Backlund to the line to Russell. Works it down the boards. Russell cutting out front. Russell with a shot. Off a stick and out of play. But Matt Irwin might have gotten his stick in the way, and the face-off will be in the San Jose end.
Rick, you and I had a chance to visit with Burns this morning. Here he is in the slot, gets puck through, doesn't get through Giordano. Now watch the collision here. That's a big body too. I think, can't speak for you, but Chris Russell, by the way, makes a terrific little play at the blue line right there, getting away from Carlson. Puck deflected out. But first thing I think of when I see Brent Burns, just the physical size of him, 6'5", 230, and just pure muscle. would not want to get hit by that guy.
Britt Burns on page. A goal by Calgary off the face-off. Boma put the rebound into the backhand, and it's 2-0 Flames. Lance Boma with the goal. 9th of the year, and the Flames lead by a pair.
And once again, a lot of the offense comes from the Flames defense. All just a simple shot right there. Get it through traffic, get it past the first defender, and Giordano does exactly that. And there's just Boma with that big body getting good position on the youngster Mueller and buries it. But that's a very, very simple play. Lance Boma, big man, out-muscles Mueller. Kid's only 19 years old. That's a mismatch in front of the Sharks net.
So Boma with the goal. Giordano and Jones get the helpers, and the Flames with another strong game in San Jose. 11.5 minutes to go in the second. As Calgary ices the puck, we get a whistle. Another winner in the score-win contest, courtesy of Safeway and Tostito Tortilla Chips, is Nicole Martin of Calgary has won a Blu-ray prize pack from E1. Congratulations, Nicole.
Just a real determined effort by Bowman to get to the front of the net, and he's rewarded with that, having his best offensive season in National Hockey League. Really made a name for himself last year with his energy and his blocking shots and so on, but taking that stride offensively this year.
Nice save by Hiller off a shot by Joe Thornton that looked like it was tipped out front. Hiller, second good right pad save in this period. Flames clear the zone. Hand him back ahead, tipped in. TJ Brody gave it away. Pavelski out front of the backhand, put it wide. Brody trying to drop it off behind the net. Joe Pavelski read it, got a good scoring chance. Flames chip it out, might be a 2-on-1. Stage and cut off by Scott Hannon. And the veteran able to one-hand that puck into the Calgary bench.
I'm pretty sure TJ Brody heard his partner Giordano. I think it was Giordano that called for the puck on the reverse right here, but it was Pavelski that read it beautifully and stole that puck before they could do the D-to-D combo right there. Not really surprised when you consider how good a player and how clever Joe Pavelski is. That he was all over that.
28 goals this season. That's 4th in the NHL. He's tied in power play goals for first. 15 of his 28 have been on the power play this year. And he had a great chance there, but missed the net. Tomas Hertl works it out. Broken up at the line by Englund. David Wolf gives chase. Steals the puck from Irwin as they battle along the boards. Juris gets it behind the net now. Josh Juris trying to jam it in. It bounces out front of the goal. And Hertl there to clear the zone. Wingles racing onto it. Wolf trying to cut him off. Wingles off the wing. Penalty coming up. Wingles taken down. Looks like Wolf will be going to the box. They jam it on goal. Hiller stands his ground. The Emmy goes to the bench. Tennyson with a shot through traffic but wide. Flames touch the puck. And the Sharks about to get their second power play of the game.
Tommy Wingles has excellent speed, and he uses it on this rush into the Flame zone. And you're going to see Wolf come in there and get the stick involved, the arm, and then Wingles goes down on the play. And so he's going to go to the penalty box for 2 minutes or less. David Wolf. And we see Joe Pavelski now on the ice for the power play for the Sharks. Take a look at his numbers since 2010. Most power play goals. Ovechkin, that's not a surprise, nor is Stamkos, but I think Pavelski is 55, and as you said, Rick, 28 PP goals this year. He is a heck of a hockey player.
So Pavelski trying to go to work here. Of his 28 goals, 15 Kelly on the power play. That's amazing. I mean, half his goals. There's a chance there. Bounced off front off of Hiller. And Lance Boma gets the rebound. And here they go. Could be a 2-on-1 with Giordano. Giordano with a shot up high on the Emmy. And the rebound's controlled, but the net's off it supports as Boma went flying into the San Jose goal with Logan Couture.
So a chance here at the other end, and it's just a shot from the side, and Hiller's in good position. And Rick, thanks for correcting me about Pavelski, 28 power play goals. 28 goals on the season.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. That's why.
Thank you.
Like correcting.
It's a long year, my friend.
Hey, listen, sometimes I'm amazed by what comes out of my mouth, too, every now. Minute 39 left in this power play for San Jose. Flames penalty kills look good so far in this game.
Yeah.
Pavelski works it over the line to Couture. Nice move on the backhand. Saved by Hiller. And Giordano gets the rebound off the glass, and it winds up going on in play. And Jonas Hiller's on top of this game tonight.
You see, ever, as John Shannon said, perfect word to use is quiet. Here's a terrific move by Couture right there, getting around Brody. That's no easy task. Two excellent skaters, but Couture goes quickly from his left to his right and gets that backhand, and Hiller in perfect position as well for the rebound.
Minute 25 left in the Wolf penalty. Sharks trying to set it up, but nice work by Sean Monahan to knock the puck away from Marleau and then swat it outside the zone. Brent Burns back to Patrick Marleau. Former Seattle Thunderbird goes to work as he chips and chases himself. Marleau, Couture on the backhand. That goes high and wide. And again, it goes out of play. Past the midway mark of the period. Minute 4 left in the power play.
Marleau does a good job getting the puck in tight to Couture right here. What a good stick by Chris Russell again. I don't know if he's going to get credit for a shot block on that, but nonetheless, should be. Certainly got a stick on it, and we're told, yes, he did get a shot block on that, so excellent play.
Face-off win for the Sharks. Matt Irwin out there on the point. Tennyson now with a shot. That's blocked by Brody. Tomas Hertl keeps the play alive. Hard pass to Irwin. Nice play to Tennyson with a shot. That went off the skate of Tierney right in front of the goal. Wide. Hertl. Tierney. Back to the line. There's a giveaway. Here's a chance shorthanded for Boma. Works his way in on Irwin. Irwin, good stick. Stood his ground and swept the puck aside, and back come the San Jose Sharks. Chris Tierney with speed over the line. Got the puck back. Swings wide. 25 seconds left in the power play. Carlson back to the line. Pavelski, hard pass to Burns. Backhands it around. Joe Pavelski. Now it's played back to Carlson. Burns, one-timer, and that's blocked by Bomo, who steered it wide. Pavelski gets the puck. Bouncing puck settled down by Hertl. Flipped out front for Pavelski, but he had to knock it down first. Penalty over. Pressure still on. Wolf out of the box. 3 shots on the power play for the Sharks. Tierney in the corner. Wolf tying up Tierney. David Wolf doing some good work. In tight quarters. Now Burns in deep. Pass out front deflected away. Kept onside. Mueller shovels it behind the net. Chris Russell's there. Flames tired. Joe Pavelski knocked down by Russell. And the puck's flipped up the glass, and Wolf should be able to work it out. Does. David Wolf gets to center, stays on the puck and flips it in. Finally, Calgary able to make a change. Look out, though. Kennedy's behind coverage. Nobody saw him. Burns brings the puck over the line, past the flex, kept in by Shepard. Towards the corner to Desjardins. He's knocked down along the boards by Wideman. Tyler Kennedy back to the line to Dillon. Fires it across to the other side of Scott Hannon. Andrew Desjardins. Kennedy's out front. Desjardins trying to jam it in. Got it to the crease. Hiller's down. Puck still loose. And Backlund did a good job to clear it aside. Lifts the puck to the line. Desjardins can't keep it onside. Flames take it away. Here's a chance for Glencross. Glencross misses it out with a shot. Put it high and off the inboard glass. Scott Hannon winds up with control and clears the zone to center ice. Brendan Dillon onto it. Dillon carries in. Wires the puck around. Desjardins on the boards. Took a bump from Diaz. Logan Couture. Checked by Derek Englund. Englund winds up with a puck. He'll skate it ahead and plays the puck to Raymond. To open the scoring in this game. Glencross dumps the puck in and heads off on a change.
There are no passengers in this game. Everybody's contributing. First line players and fourth line players, all the D.
6.5 to go. Second period. 2-0 Calgary. Hoodler steals. Johnny Gaudreau and Hoodler 2-on-1. Hoodler goes to the net. Gaudreau right in. Pass to Hoodler's blocked. Tennyson got the way of that one. Sharks work it out. Can't get it in though. Now they do. Marleau, Couture, he's checked. Here they go again. Hoodler, Monahan and Gaudreau over the line. Yuri Hoodler, top of the circle, cuts out front. Giordano with a shot, missed the net, and the puck goes around the boards. Bounces to Brody, who kept it onside. Gaudreau, Monahan in the corner. Monahan Throws it behind the net. Penalty coming up to the Sharks. Here's Colborne out front. Colborne with the pass. That deflected away from Zuras. Extra skater for Calgary. Delayed call coming up. As they give it away, Nieto touches the puck, and the Flames are going back on the power play with 5:32 to go. Second period. A great game in San Jose. Flames blocking pucks, doing what they have to do, leading 2-0 against the Sharks.
For every Flames hit this season, Jamin donates $100 in the fight against multiple sclerosis. Join the fight versus MS at jamin.com. Flames go to the power play. Tennis in the penalty box for the San Jose Sharks. Calgary power play. And Dad Paul Colborne joins me right now as we get set for the power play. How have you liked the atmosphere watching this game? You've seen a lot of hockey, but what do you think it's like in this building?
This building is so intense, and the fans are very loud. I think one of the loudest in the league. And our guys are having, I think, one of our best games of the year, so very exciting.
Add in the playoff implications. The Kings win tonight, Minnesota wins. It's just that much more exciting for you guys, all 16 of you.
It's very exciting for us. We're very appreciative, too, of the Flames organization for taking us, and we put a lot of pressure on our boys to make sure they we win and they keep the trip going. So we really appreciate it.
A lot of fun for me. I'd like to stay here all night. Okay, guys, power play. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Roger. Flames' second power play of the game. They're 0 for 1 as they try to get set up. Diaz. Raymond, stick broken. You hear Raymond calling for a fresh stick. Good job by the Flames to keep it onside. Here's Diaz, top of the circle with a shot. Niemi makes the save, and he squeezes the puck long enough for a whistle.
David Jones all season long has done a really nice job of getting to the front of the net and trying to create havoc there. Diaz gets a puck on the near boards right here after the giveaway and just slides down towards the face-off circle, and there's David Jones coming in looking for a rebound, but Niemi held on to it for a face-off. But David Jones, pretty effective lately. He's one of the Flames' best players.
Thornton waved out. Monahan will face off against Marleau. Minute 25 left in the power play. Monahan can throw Hoodler up front on this unit. Russell and Weidman man the points. Sean Monahan. Pressured along the boards. Gets the puck free for Gaudreau. Now Hoodler in the corner. He's checked. Brandon Dillon takes the puck away and is fired down the ice by Joe Thornton. Marleau chasing after Russell. Gaudreau comes back and gets control for Calgary. Shot 17-16 Flames lead 2-0. Raymond and Boma with the goals. Here they come over the line. Yuri Hoodler sets up. Back to Russell. Weidman. Monahan. Top of the circle. Down low. Gaudreau trying to get it out front. Hit a skate and it's cleared. Dillon again gets it down the ice. Final half minute of the power play. Long pass by Hiller, fails to connect with anybody. No icing though. Nieto gets to a loose puck. Checked by Raymond, but puck comes free. Desjardins there to dump it down the ice. Mark Giordano goes back. 15 seconds left in the Tennyson interference penalty. As Flames captain Giordano brings out of his own end. Raymond flying down the wing. Turns on the boards. Back to Giordano with a wrist shot. That's blocked out front. Bounces to Brody. Backlund. Brody with room. Giordano on the other side. Out front, deflected wide of the goal. Penalty's over. Flames keep the pressure on. Raymond in the corner, battling with Tennyson out of the box. Raymond turns along the boards and plays it behind the net. One shot for the Flames on that power play. David Jones. Glencross couldn't take it down low. Stajan goes after the puck, knocked away from him, and Hurdle's able to clear. Long change for the Sharks, though. Flames trying to take advantage. Good work by Wingles to tie up his man. Now the Flames dump it in. Niemi having trouble with the puck behind the net. Gets it back just in time. Works it towards the corner. Tomas Hurdle tipped it up the boards, and they get it back to the Calgary zone. Curtis Glencross. Long pass to Colborne. Roger just talking to his dad, Paul. Colborne on the forecheck. Bumping with Irwin in the corner. Joe Colborne lost the puck to Joe Pavelski. Tierney at center ice. Got it in, but right under the stick of Giordano. Brody having trouble, will wire the puck around the boards, and Glencross able to bring it out. Hard pass to Colborne doesn't work. That'll be icing on Calgary as the whistle blows. 2:17 to go in the second period.
Calgary's known for the Flames and the Rockies. Let's take a look at what's happening at the Rockies' best resorts.
All players have strengths and weaknesses. Hillers is stopping the puck. That's a strength. Playing the puck, not necessarily. Keep it simple. He did not have to go for the long bomb pass to Mason Raymond. Just give it to your defenseman and start out behind the net again.
Sharks with control off the draw. Hannon with a shot. That goes just wide. Joe Thornton along the boards. Behind the net, Pavelski got it to the side of the goal to Burns, who's in deep. Stajan knocked it off the stick, but Thornton able to get it back. Giordano behind the net. Pavelski stole it from him, got it off front to Burns. He can't get a shot away. Puck trickled on goal, and Hiller there to make a save. Brent Burns is moving up on the play a lot here the last few shifts. He's in the corner now battling for the puck. Giordano, Glencross, and he'll clear the zone. This might be icing, and it will be with 1:35 to go in the second period.
Burns is so difficult to cover because you never know where he's going to be. He's a right-handed right point man, and yet that's never stops him from joining into the play right there, right in the high slot. Just couldn't control the hard pass from Pavelski. A little bit in his feet, but I expect down 2-0. We're going to see a lot of Burns the last minute 35 of this period, and as well in this third period trying to close that gap.
Flames use their timeout here after the icing call.
Take a look at the scoring leaders on defense. Mark Giordano, of course, leading the entire group. Letang making a good push recently, and Burns in fourth with 39 points. I actually asked Burns this morning about what is the key about getting your shot. Is it all about power? And he talked to me about, no, for him it's just a release, and then the number one thing for him at the point, get it past the traffic. The very first guy.
CP Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific and its 2,700 railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kids Sport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring Flames. Help CP build stronger kids and stronger communities.
Face-off win for the Flames when they get it out. Puck inside the zone. Brody turns along the boards under pressure from Marlowe, but good work by Brody to clear, and Colborn's there to dump it in. That will facilitate a change after the icing call. Marlowe tips it ahead. Nieto into the zone. Back for Marlowe. Marlowe with a shot, missed the net. Matt Tennyson settles a bouncing puck down. Marlowe in the corner. Pass out front. It doesn't connect with anybody except Yuri Hudler, who banks it off the boards to Gaudreau. Monahan with Gaudreau. Gaudreau with a pass. Broken up by Tennyson, who got a stick in the way. And Irwin's there to clear. Logan Couture carries in. Marlowe with him. Couture with a shot. Stopped by Hiller, and he scoops up the bouncing puck for a whistle with 49.5 seconds to go in the second period. The Flames 2 and the Sharks no score.
Regional rivals, the LA Kings and San Jose Sharks, as they prepare for next week's Coors Light NHL Stadium Series. Episode number 2 of the Road to the Stadium Series is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet 360, or later in the evening at 9 p.m. Mountain on Sportsnet West. And that is Levi Stadium. That is the new home of the San Francisco 49ers, and will host that outdoor game on the 21st of this month. That's what it looks like for football. You're starting to see the boards start. They're taking shape for the hockey rink. It's almost set to go in Santa Clara. It should be great.
Just up the highway from San Jose. Kelly, I know you're going to be there doing that game in a couple of Saturdays from tonight.
Absolutely, I'll be there.
There's a one-timer from the line off the draw. Nice shot by Tennyson. Good save by Jonas Hiller. No rebound. 42.8 seconds to go in the second period.
Big
the Flames on top 2-0.
Sorry, Rick. Big face-off win by the Sharks right there. Pavelski gets it back and then sets up the one-timer right here by Tennyson. And Hiller very, very efficient in his crease right now, looking through traffic, and then an excellent position. I like how he just sort of pushed off just a hair to take away a little bit more of the angle at the last second.
Monahan against Thornton on the face-off. Flames win it. Loose puck side of the goal. Carlson to it. Down low for Joe Thornton. Back to the line. Tennyson one-timer blocked bravely by Lance Palma. And he'll chip the puck in as he's hit by Thornton. Jones on the forecheck. Burns back. Tennyson winds up with control and feeds it ahead. Melker Karlsson out of his own zone. Trying to get around Colborn. And it's cut off by Monahan. Final 10 seconds of the period. as they play ping pong at center ice. And that should do it. They're going to blow it down on an icing call. Looked like that might have been deflected, but the whistle blows with 3.1 seconds to go in the middle frame.
How cool is that to see all the dads, 16 of them here on the trip. 2 days off. I think they're going golfing tomorrow in Los Angeles too. And Lance Boma, his dad's here, I know. He's going to be pretty proud of his son with another block here late in the second period.
See, and the Flames are smart. Take the dads to California. It's going to be sunny and 30 in LA tomorrow. Off the draw, they get a shutaway score. It beat the buzzer. Brent Burns for the point, fouled the top of the net. And I think this is going to count after an icing call against Calgary with a 3.1 seconds to go. The Sharks are on the board.
Well, this is set up by another face-off win again by Pavelski. And that's right, there's a second left on the time clock. Pavelski's so good on the draw, and they just quickly get it back to Brent Burns. That's a rolling puck, and that looks to me as though it dips a little bit. There it is. Hiller, of course, is completely screened, and that puck just sort of drops into the top part of the net. The officials are going to review this just to make sure that time had not run down, but pretty clear by our cameras and the time clock that there's still another second left.
Yeah, it's a good goal. As you would suspect, they put 9/10 of a second on the clock. Burns gets his 12th of the season. Couture and Pavelski with the helpers, 19:59 mark. And what looked like an elementary icing call late in the second period comes back to bite the Calgary Flames.
Well, I know you and I even let our guard down thinking 3.1 seconds.
And that'll be it for the second period as the Flames give up a late goal but still have the lead. 2-1 in San Jose. Back to the studio with John Shannon and Louis DeBrusque. Here's David Amber. Back in San Jose, SAP Center, as we get set for the third period. It's been an outstanding game so far. Flames lead 2-1 as we check our summary, brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago.
Go back to the first period. Mason Raymond put the Flames up with his 9th goal. Shots favored the Flames 8-7. Second period, both teams exchanged goals. Lance Boma with his 9th as well. And then with a second left in the period, Brent Burns scored to make it 2-1. Jonas Hiller's been excellent in this game. Got pulled last game after giving up 4 goals, but he has been very, very solid in this game. Very economical in his movements. Excellent rebound control as well, and fighting hard through traffic to see the shots that he's faced. So this has been an excellent bounce back game for Jonas Hiller, which leads us to this is going to be an absolutely fantastic third period.
Game really does have a playoff feel. A regulation win for Calgary. The leapfrog over Vancouver and San Jose in the second place in the Pacific Division. Again. Patrick Marleau behind the Calgary goal. Anna Wright, Saskatchewan native, turning in the corner, watched by Russell behind the net for Logan Couture. Back for Marleau. He'd gone to the front of the goal. Flames clear the zone. Monahan gives chase, has Gaudreau with him. Gaudreau goes up front, there's the pass. Gaudreau right in, stopped by Niemi. Rebound winds up in the corner. Great chance for Gaudreau. Back out front off Niemi. Gaudreau gets it back at the line. Here's Giordano with a bit of room. A wrist shot, stick saved by Niemi. Couture in the corner, gave it away to Monahan. Great shift for Calgary early. Boma with a shot, hit the post. Lance Boma beat Niemi, couldn't beat the goalpost. Back out front, blocked by Dillon. He chops it up the boards. Marleau can't get there, he's tired, but it clears the zone anyway.
Sharks changing, they might get caught.
Here's Giordano in with a wrist shot. Niemi sits, big rebound. Boma put it wide of the goal. Wow, what a start for the Flames in the third period here at San Jose. Brent Burns, long lead pass. Here's Wingles down the wing, off the pad of Hiller wide. Puck outside the zone. Back comes Backlund. Raymond with him, so is Glencross. Backlund turns, works the puck up the boards. Curtis Glencross now for Raymond down low. He's checked by Scott Hannon. Hannon turns away from Raymond. Skates behind the net and calmly fires it out to Tierney at center ice. Just a torrid start to the period. The Flames clear the zone. Back come the Sharks. Wingles down the wing. Along the boards. Plays it behind the net to the corner to Joe Thornton. Carlson now for Thornton along the boards. His pass off the skate of Raymond. And Engelland's there to clear the zone. Joe Thornton works it back in. Long reach, able to maintain control. Back to Matt Irwin at the far point behind the net now for Pavelski. Joe Pavelski trying to work his way away from Engelland, trying to backhand shot. That whistle to the crease and out the other side. Played back out front. Deflected to the far boards. Pavelski and Colborne come together. San Jose applying some pressure now. Joe Thornton down low. Behind the net, Joe Pavelski. Carlson's out front. The pass never got there. Wolf can't reach it. Dillon kept it onside. Played out front by Thornton. Here's Dillon with a shot. Saved by Hiller. No rebound. And Hiller's able to hang on.
So if you're worried how the Calgary Flames would respond after giving up a goal in the last second, I guess this pretty much answered it. Monahan gets it to Gaudreau. He's trying to outweight Niemi here. That's why the hesitation, trying to see if Niemi's going to open up, and then Lance Bowman comes from the bench, and right off the post, he breaks his stick on the play as well. I'm not sure. It didn't look like the hardest shot. That might have thrown off Niemi, that broken stick.
Bowman with a goal and assist already in this game. His 7th multi-point game of the season. And he almost had a second goal right there. Gaudreau able to kick the puck out to the neutral zone. Sharks fire it back in. And they're going to blow that down on an offside call. 3 minutes into the third period of play. Flames still lead by 1.
This common theme all season long. We've talked about the Calgary Flames and how well they've done in the third period with goals. 66 firsts in the NHL. There's a lot of firsts there. Let's just say that on the right-hand side. Goal differential, I think, would be the one stat that stands out to all hockey people. Plus 31 in the third period. That's tremendous hockey.
Scott Hannon with a long dump hit high and wide of the goal. Chris Russell to it. Johnny Gaudreau will bring it out. Monahan and Hudler with him. Monahan works it down the wing. Burns cuts him off. Monahan on his knees, gets hit a couple of times in the back of the head as play continues. Penalty coming up to Burns. Russell with a shot into traffic. Knocked down. The Flames had the puck, but they blow it dead anyway. And Calgary going on the power play.
Introducing the new BF Goodrich KO2 tire. BF Goodrich. Take control.
Brent Burns takes his second minor penalty of the game right there on Sean Monahan. I think it's just the roughing at the very end. There's no question about it. A little bit too aggressive after Monahan had fallen down to his knees.
Burns complaining about it, but a couple of elbows to the back of the head will send you to the box 10 times out of 10. Sharks win the draw, and Tennyson clears the zone. This is the third power play for Calgary, 0 for 2 with 2 shots in their first 2 opportunities. Mark Giordano up from behind his own net. Flames fire the puck in. And try to get set up now with a man advantage. Here's Raymond in the circle with a wrist shot blocked. Puck back to the corner. Tennyson trying to clear. Jones got a stick in the way. Sharks work it out. Pavelski out the center shorthanded. Back to Marlowe. Carries in. Lost the puck. Good move though to get it back. All by himself. Rest of his penalty killers changing. Now they're in support. Dillon threw it out front. And Hudler tipped it away from Nieto. Yuri Hudler carries to center ice. Hudler over the line with Giordano. Cross ice pass. Here comes Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau with a shot. And he put it into the skates of Hudler. Sharks take it away and flip it out to center. Matt Nieto. Nice pass to Brendan Dillon up on the play with a backhand shot blocked by the stick of Giordano. And now Weidman settles it down. Johnny Gaudreau over the line. Long pass to the near boards to Monahan. Now the Flames set it up. 40 seconds left in the power play. Weidman. Sean Monahan. Monahan with a shot. Missed the net. High and wide. Round the boards to Weidman. Gaudreau. Hudler's out front. He's tripped. Monahan gets the puck. Back to Weidman. Dennis Weidman. Sean Monahan. Chris Russell. Weidman. One-timer blocked. Hannon got in the way of that one. And He'll fire it around the boards, but it hit at Flame. Bounces to Desjardins. He can't get it out. Good work by Wideman to keep it onside. Out front, Hudler scores! Gaudreau with the setup. Yuri Hudler, 5th goal in 5 games against San Jose, and it's 3-1 Calgary.
Continually getting pucks to the net. Calgary Flames, great job right there. Desjardins can't clear the zone. Wideman keeps it in, and then he just feeds it down to Gaudreau, and of course with that great vision, he spots Monahan and he buries, but what a play by Dennis Wideman at the point, not only to keep the puck in, but to spot Gaudreau to the right of Niemi. And Andrew Desjardins is not going to be very happy with himself not getting that puck out. What a reaction. I think that pretty much tells you how happy the dads are.
And Yuri Hudler loves playing San Jose. 16th of the season, 5 of those against the Sharks. Gaudreau and Wideman with the assists. A power play goal for Calgary, and they restore the 2-goal lead.
Yep, and that adds to their numbers in the 3rd period.
Flames 1 for 3 on the power play. And the one shot on that power play winds up in the back of the net. Joe Thornton has the puck, and he'll backhand it in. Pavelski with control, shot off the wing. Steered away by Jonas Hiller. Brent Burns trying to hold the line, but Jones able to swat it past him and up to the neutral zone. Matt Irwin, native of Brentwood Bay, BC on Vancouver Island. Plays the puck in. Carlson ran into Pavelski. That allows Brody to take the puck away, but then give it away to Joe Thornton with a long wrister, and that goes high and wide. Burns behind the net. Giordano stole it for a second, but Matt Irwin's able to keep it onside. Thornton in the corner. Works it up the boards, across to Irwin. One-timer deflected, twice in fact, and then wide of the goal off of Giordano. Thornton. The Sharks push back after that power play goal. Pavelski got a shot away and a nice glove save with traffic in front by Hiller, who hangs on with 13:41 to go. We'll check our Safeway Score and Wing contest winner. Patricia Brownlee of Sylvan Lake has won a Hoover Air Cordless Vacuum courtesy of Safeway and Tostito Tortilla Chips. Thanks to the Flames' 3rd goal tonight. Congratulations, Patricia. Just over 6 minutes gone in the 3rd period. The Flames back up by 2 on a power play goal by Yuri Hudler. Calgary 3 and the Sharks 1 in San Jose. Flames general manager Brad Treliving on the trip, enjoying his team's 2-goal lead here in the 3rd period in San Jose, Kelly.
Well, what's going to happen? Is he going to be a busy man leading up to the March 2nd trade deadline, or what might be offered to the Calgary Flames?
What he thinks? Good question.
What area?
I know he has a long-term plan, but with the team exceeding expectations, do you tweak that plan a little bit?
Depth is always important.
Flames win the draw in their own zone. Dennis Wideman able to clear, and now Calgary will make a quick change. Russell off his stick, he'll have to turn back. Tierney onto the puck in the corner. Russell able to knock into the ice. Brent Burns tries a shot off the boards. That hit traffic and bounces wide. Tierney behind the net. Into the corner for Wingles. Back to the line. Broken stick. Puck stays in. Wingles gets the puck. Tierney. Burns. One-timer. Nice save, Hiller. And the rebound's cleared. You mentioned it, Kelly. A real nice bounce-back game so far tonight for Jonas Hiller.
Absolutely.
It's been calm, under control. Flames clear the zone once again. Shots 26-24 in favor of the Sharks. Flames up 3-1. And the puck's cleared out. There's Hudler. That's the 3rd Calgary goal. Set up by Gaudreau, who chops the puck into the zone, bounces right to Niemi, and he'll cover up for a whistle.
Jonas Hiller makes a big stop on this one. Doesn't look fantastic, but it's just a really good positional save on the one-timer from Burns. I can tell you from up here, he got that away in a hurry, and that was a heavy, heavy shot. Jonas Hiller easily makes a right pad save with that one. I just love his composure, though, again, Jonas Hiller. He had that little blip last Friday, but he has been exceptional again today.
And most of the credit for that little blip goes to Sidney Crosby.
I would agree with that.
playing like the best player in the world that night.
That game was a spectacular game, not only by Crosby, but his teammates. So I'm like you. I chalk that up into that category more so than the play of Hiller.
At center ice, the Sharks able to dump it in. Weidman back to it. Colborne trying to clear the zone. Forced back near the corner, taken away by Thornton. He'll fire it around, but Mueller had moved over and has to retreat to get the puck. Up to Joe Pavelski. Leaves it at the line for Dillon. Back for Pavelski. Didn't quite connect, and the Flames get it ahead and clear the zone. Tipped out to center ice. Blasted in by Pavelski at the end of his shift. Giordano plays the puck to TJ Brody. And Brody will bank it out to David Jones, who deflects the puck into the San Jose end. Niemi out of the goal, plays it to Irwin in the corner. Andrew Desjardins. James Shepard carries in. Kennedy with him as Shepard tries a sharp angle shot that missed. Tennyson activates into the corner. Hit by Englund. Puck goes behind the net. Tyler Kennedy trying to get it out front. That deflects back to the blue line. Shepard down the boards. Leaves the puck for Desjardins. Took a hit. Made a play. Now it's back to Irwin. There's it across to Tennyson with a one-timer that missed the net around the boards and all the way down the ice, and that'll allow the Flames to make wholesale changes. Tyler Kennedy tips it in. 9 minutes gone, third period. 2-goal lead for Calgary in San Jose. Russell. Dennis Weidman. Matt Stajan with speed. Stajan. Glenn Cross with a shot. That goes wide of the goal. Puck comes back to Weidman. Will he keep it in? Yes. Good work by Weidman. Stajan got it out front. Misses everybody, and here go the Sharks. Couture. Marleau with him. Marleau out front. Coming late is Burns with a shot, and who else but Chris Russell laying down for the block.
What perfect timing. You don't see players leave their feet very often, but he knew exactly what he was going to do in making a six-shot block tonight.
Put it on the board. Another one for Russell. Here's TJ Brody. Johnny Gaudreau, nice move. Gaudreau works it over the line. Turns along the boards. Gaudreau, Giordano. Back to Gaudreau. Brody now with a wrist shot wide of the goal. Picked up down low. Hoodler trying to work it out front. Lost control of the puck. And it's cleared to the line. Onto it there. Tierney got as far as the Calgary zone. Lost control, but puck winds up deep. Giordano up the boards. Mueller gets control. Tierney now behind the goal, trying to get to the front. Plays the puck instead to Wingles. Back to the line of Brendan Dillon. Dillon back to Tierney. Tierney, Wingles in the slot. Had to kick it to a stick. It was rolling. He never got a good shot away, and the Flames have a chance to clear the zone and do. Out to center where it's brought over the line now by Monahan. He's all alone. Line mates changing, so Monahan calmly feeds it back to his own end, or Russell takes his time and then finds Weidman. Colborne. Juris. Raymond's out front. Juris knocked down by Shepard. Raymond in the corner. Behind the net. Matt Irwin gets control. Cross-ice pass. Poked away from Raymond and out to the neutral zone. 11 minutes into the third period. Very entertaining night in San Jose as the Flames clear the zone. Scott Hannon over to Brent Burns. Dumps the puck in. Boma turns along the boards. Short pass to Backlund, who wheels to the neutral zone. Boma goes to the goal. Puck shot by Backlund. Bounces to the slot. Right under the stick of Tyler Kennedy. Roller having trouble with it. Stolen by Backlund. Kennedy recovers. Backlund gets it back. Out front. Boma with a shot. Niemi with the save. And he falls on top of the rebound. 8:22 to go in the third period. Another chance for Lance Boma. Niemi with a big stop. It's still 3-1 Calgary in San Jose.
Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner. Watch future Sportsnet telecast, and you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to a Grand Bahia Principe Resort, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. And the Flames are proud to partner with your Alberta Ram dealers to bring you the King of the Rink contest with a chance to win a 2015 Ram 1500. Visit CalgaryFlames.com/King of the Rink to enter using tonight's password, Johnny Hawk.
8:22 to go in the third period. 3-1 Calgary leading at San Jose. Face off in the Shark zone. James Sheppard will bring it out. Fires it in. Nieto on the forecheck. Logan Couture had to kick the puck to the other corner. Scott Hannon's in deep. Couture behind the net. Deflected away from him, but he'll pick it up on the other side. And then hand it away, and it's cleared out by Monahan as Hannon goes back to it. Puck bounces to Couture. Chris Russell, another strong game for Russell. Weidman wanted a penalty there. I thought it was a hook or a high stick, but either way, no call, and he's going to yap at the official as the Flames make wholesale changes here. With Hannon back to the puck in his own zone. Burns off the boards, gave it away to Boma. He's had chances for a second. He'll try another one here and put it wide. Out front, Boma chipped the puck, but it deflected wide of the goal again. Lance Boma having another strong outing. Wingles can't take a pass at center. Michael Backlund races after it, pumping with Dillon. Rafa Diaz now. Tierney pokes it away from Backlund. Dillon takes the puck, feeds it ahead, and it's brought to center ice by Mueller. Long pass up the right side to Tierney. Backhand shot steered away by Hiller. Englund onto the rebound in the corner, off the boards to the line, kept in by Dillon. He'll fire it deep. Tommy Wingles behind the net for Chris Tierney. Stolen away, and Englund make that Glencross able to find Raymond, who clears the zone back to the line. Loose at center. Glencross to Brody. Too far for Raymond. Dillon takes it back. 6.5 minutes to go in regulation. Melker Karlsson dumps the puck in. TJ Brody pressured. 2 forecheckers on him. Puck stolen by Pavelski. Put it off the outside of the net right to Boma. And he quickly feeds it ahead to Jones, who will chip and chase. Tennyson beats him to it. Jones peels off. Flames change again. Short shift for Calgary with a 2-goal lead on the road in the third period. Joe Thornton got it in. Karlsson cuts behind the net, taken down by Russell. Play continues. Pudler off the boards. Backlund breaks out with Boma. Could be a 2-on-1. Boma and Backlund. Backlund with a shot. Glove save by Niemi. And he'll play the puck to Thornton. Joe Thornton out of his own end. Penalty coming up to Calgary. Thornton over the line. Drops it off. Logan Couture puts it wide. No penalty, pardon me. No, it is a penalty. Official's hand is in the air. And the San Jose Sharks will be going on the power play. So with a 2-goal lead, the Flames with a big penalty kill. 5:36 to go in the third. 3-1 Calgary at San Jose.
So Backlund is off for holding. A reminder, Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey features a doubleheader this week. The Canucks visit the Blackhawks, 5:30 p.m. Mountain. Then, here at the Shark Tank, the Washington Capitals come to visit San Jose at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Doubleheader action Wednesday on Sportsnet.
Third power play of the game for San Jose. They're 0 for 2. 3 shots in their first 2 opportunities. Flames up 3-1. Big kill here for Calgary. Couture trying to keep the play on side. Boma took it away. Stajan joins him on the rush, short-handed. Boma. Stajan can't take the pass off a stick into the corner. Lance Boma's having a heck of a hockey game.
His best game ever.
Wow. Pavelski over the line. Joe Thornton. He's tied up in the corner. Pavelski winds up with the puck. Now he finds Thornton. Hopped off the stick to Marleau. Back for Thornton. Brody cut it off. 3 Sharks around the puck. Battle to get it back, but it squirts free to Monahan. He'll chip it out. Minute 20 left in the power play. Flames make changes. Here's Thornton back into the zone. Joe Thornton drops it off. Burns. Shot! Blocker saved by Hiller. Rebound high in the air. It's swatted behind the net by Weidman. Joe Thornton gets the puck. Off the boards. Back to Burns again. Burns shoots. Stopped by Hiller. And he covers up the rebound before Marleau can get a shot away. And now we've got some rough stuff. Joe Thornton comes in support of Marleau. Quickly broken up as things cool down with 1 minute exactly left in the San Jose power play.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Lance Bowman does a wonderful job there trying to get involved on that shot block. And Hiller tracks that one-timer from Brent Burns. Puck goes behind the net, but Dennis Wideman makes sure of that. But I'll tell you, I think this is, and we've watched Lance Bowman now for a couple of years here in his second year in the National Hockey League, and he's had many good games. I think this is the best I've seen him play.
He's had a really solid night and is unlucky that he only has one goal because he's had 3 or 4 other great chances.
And lots of hits, lots of shots that he's blocked.
Goal and assist for Lance Bowman was out there again on the penalty kill. Tennyson at center ice. Hard around. Will make that hurdle up on the play. Back to the line. Nice job by Irwin to keep it in. Over to Tennyson. Back to Matt Irwin. Tomas Hurdle. Hurdle with a shot. Hiller makes the save. Hurdle onto the rebound behind the net. Tierney back to Irwin. Across to Tennyson. Irwin fakes. Irwin shoots. Steered aside by Hiller. Tennyson gets the rebound. Pass to Hurdle. That doesn't connect and it clears the zone. Final 10 seconds of the backward penalty. Hurdle at center ice. Checked by Matt Stajan. Sharks are 0 for 3 on the power play. 3 shots on that chance. Brendan Dillon up on the play. Into the corner, out front with a pass. Deflects back to the line. A shot. Stopped by Hiller. Got the glove on the Mirko Mueller shot. And Jonas Hiller hangs on.
Just spectacular positioning by Jonas Hiller. This is the one save out of the entire night where he's had to stretch out a little bit. That may have been going wide, but I like the fact that he gloves it anyways and holds it for a face-off. Calm things down just a little bit.
3:26 to go in the third period. Shots are 31-26 in favor of the Sharks, who win the draw. Dillon works it down low. Side of the goal, they jam away. Knocked away from Nieto. Curtis Glencross will bring it out. Jones and Monahan with him. Glencross behind the net. Took a big hit there as he ran into Dillon. Here comes Patrick Marleau through center ice. Marleau, Nieto hopped away from him. Couture trying to get it out front. That goes behind the net. Marleau's pass deflects on goal. And Hiller had to be sharp there. Ricocheted off a Flames defender right to the goal crease. Time to check our game review. Brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Well, didn't we do the top one recently? Everyone loves Raymond again. A goal tonight, third goal in the last 4 games. Lance Bowman, we've talked a lot about what a terrific night he's had, and Brent Burns scored with a second left in the second period to make it 2-1 for the Flames.
Backlund against Pavelski. Flames center wins the draw. Niemi was creeping towards the bench, but he has to hustle back into his net. His hand goes to a puck. Niemi still looking to the bench, trying to get off. Sharks can't get the puck deep, though. And the Flames clear the zone. Tipped in by Carlson. Now Niemi heads off for the extra attacker. Flames get it to the line, and Hudler, good job to swat that out of the air back to the San Jose blue line. Dennis Wideman settles it down. He'll clear the zone. Sharks get control. Joe Pavelski, bouncing puck. Over the line. Thornton now. Joe Thornton, hard shot towards the goal, deflected by Shepard, and Hiller in excellent position makes another save and hangs on. Let's find out what's coming up on Sportsnet Central with a preview. Here are Carly and Jamie.
Thanks very much. A rare victory on the road for the Edmonton Oilers.
And the Canucks come up short against Devin Dubnyk and the red-hot Minnesota Wild.
Excellent composure by the Calgary Flames here in this third period. If you're a young team like that and inexperienced, you wonder if they're going to get rattled after Burns scored on with a second to go in the second. That certainly hasn't been the case whatsoever.
Big face-off coming up here. The Flames with an edge in the face-off circle tonight, 27-26.
And
2:04 to go.
21 block shots by the Flames.
Monahan against Pavelski. Another win. Brody up the boards. Marleau keeps it onside. Brody gets it back. Fires it ahead to Jones with an empty net. He flips it in. and scores! David Jones with the empty netter, and that should seal it with 1:53 to go. It's 4-1 Calgary.
When your defenseman can make tape-to-tape passes, often you're going to get out of your zone. Right here, and Brody, just a terrific little pass. And I love the play by Jones, because even if it doesn't hit the empty net, well, there's interference on him right there, but he's going to beat Couture to the loose puck anyway, so he's going to nullify the icing. It's a really smart play by David Jones, and the Flames go up 4-1 now with 1:53 left. Do you pull your goalie again now? I would.
What difference does it make at this point?
Right.
Except you might be able to mount a miracle comeback. Jones from Brody. Ninth of the season for Jones. Niemi's back in goal, and keep an eye on him and see if he heads to the bench, but he doesn't. Long shot in, glove by Hiller, and he will cover up for a faceoff. Elizabeth Hamill of Calgary shopped at Safeway on behalf of Safeway and Tostitos Tortilla Chips. Elizabeth, you've won the Garmin VIRB Elite HD Action Camera.
Niemi is kind of thinking along the same lines I was. When Hiller held that for a faceoff, Niemi kept looking at the Sharks bench. Todd McCollum had no interest in waving him over, so they're pretty content, I guess, to just let this play out.
Off the draw, the Flames get the puck to the line. It came outside the zone. They're going to blow it down on the offside. 1:26 to go. Calgary will fly tonight after the game to LA for the game Thursday against the Kings. Tomorrow, golf with Dad.
How great is
the Flames and their fathers will have a golf outing, and it's going to feel a lot better with the way they played tonight.
I know last night they had a bit of a bonding session. They had dinner with their dads at the hotel, but each player had to tell a story about their dad at the dinner, and I was lucky enough. Joe Colburn shared the story he had of his dad.
Here's Backlund with a shot, whistled that just wide. Cleared to center ice. Derek Englund, Rafa Diaz. Juris tips it in. Tennyson back, final minute of play. Pass to Englund, didn't connect. Puck rolls to the Calgary line. Diaz to Juris. Fires it around the boards. Flames Pacific Division records going to improve to 17-4-1 with this win tonight at San Jose.
Crazy.
And 4 of those 17 wins will be against the Sharks. Here, stage it. Behind the net. Out the other side. Pass deflects to the corner to Mason Raymond, who opened the scoring for Calgary. The 14:52 mark of the first period. Raymond has the puck. Now Russell, Weidman. And Russell will just stand behind the net until Wingles forces him out. Final 5 seconds. Time ticks down, and that will do it. Another superb effort by the Calgary Flames against the San Jose Sharks. Flames win 4 of 5 games in the season series in San Jose, against San Jose, including all 3 in this building, as they knock off the Sharks by a score of 4-1.
This is a Flames team that they're learning how to win. I mean, they were winning earlier in the season with hard work, but now they know how to win.
And Jonas Hiller was rock solid between the pipes for Calgary.
Telus Flames Hockey. Brought to you by Telus, the future is friendly.
All right, Kelly, let's check our 3 stars tonight.
Lance Boma, his best ever NHL game in my estimation. First star, Jonas Hiller, spectacular in the nets, and Chris Russell once again doing it all for the Calgary Flames.
All right, let's head downstairs. Here's Roger Millions with a guest.
All right, Rick, and that is the captain of the Calgary Flames, Mark Giordano. Your team has picked up win number 30 this season in a game that you guys would not be denied. Can you talk about the resolve that your club showed, Mark?
I thought we played again another solid road game. We were skating well. I thought the whole night. We disappointed. We let in that one obviously at the end of the second, but we bounced right back in the third, and huge plays by the guys, huge blocks, and that's a good bounce back win.
A special night for you. Just a quick thought on in front of your dads and everything.
Yeah, I thought having them here, you know, it makes you gives you that extra little boost. Obviously, we want to get the win for them, and to get the two-game trip to get one out of the way right away. Obviously, it feels nice. We'll have a few nice days with them tomorrow and the next day.
Thanks for this, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Giordano. Flames win 4-1. We now send you to Sportsnet Central. That's already in progress.